So shout out to Dylan, Will, and I forgot what's other Cody. They helped me pull this trans. So this is post 4100 horsepower smack, and now myself, the mad scientist Will, and the Alibaba Will.
Dude, I'm Alibaba all.
Yeah. So we're gonna pull this apart. I told you guys we would show you what it looks like after you make 4100 horsepower corrected for all the haters.
Those don't matter.
Yeah, so there it is. It's out. We'll get it pulled on the bench and see what she looked like. So initial assessment here, I was looking at the input. We do have a slight twist of the 35 spline input shaft. Okay, so if you guys follow timelines, you'll know that we went to Weekend on the Edge, and it is now currently Sunday. We are tearing apart the 4,000 horsepower dyno smack transmission. It has 2 dyno hits at power driven diesel, the idle time of driving it around, and then the Northwest Dyno circuit hit. Now, as I alluded to before, we do have a slightly twisted input shaft. Not really something I'm gonna worry about at this time. We do see some debris. The fluid looked great. Honestly, Meyer, that much debris, like, definitely something slipped.
Yeah, it's bigger flakes too, so I'm
Yeah.
hoping it's clutch.
I'm hoping it's clutch. From what Ethan saw on the last converter, I'm not gonna rule the torque converter out, but it did appear like it wasn't the torque converter. So we're gonna get this pulled apart. Our goal is to get it pulled apart, show you guys the damage, and maybe we'll brainstorm on how to make this mousetrap better. We're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna hold the camera and narrate this while Meyer.
He takes the clutches out of the housing.
Yeah. So these are our overdrive brakes. Oop, there we go. A little bit of heat.
Not in the steel, just in the friction.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's the first time we've had an overdrive problem.
Got the way it is. So that was down.
Yeah, which the reaction plate makes it pretty easy.
I don't have that out yet. Is that crap on dual?
Jace could show you how it's done.
Very good.
Interesting. Okay, so now we have heat in the overdrive brake, which, if you guys remember from the last time, we did not have that problem before.
So it's like, I think the reaction plate's deflecting.
Yeah.
Which I want to make heavy duty one of those anyway, so maybe that's all for it. Let's try this one.
Okay, so this is our third gear clutch, the direct. This is the one where we did some different kind of mods. And if you guys can count, that is 6 clutches in direct. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Meyer, that looks way better than it did before.
Yeah.
Wow. Dude, that fixed the problem. That's cool. You like those lines in there?
Oh, scratchy scratch.
Yeah.
It's on the ground.
Listen, we were getting down to the nitty gritty. Okay, so direct clutch held.
Held.
Direct clutch fixed. Direct clutch 6 clutches held 4,100 horsepower or 3,283 horsepower, depending on which camp you're in. I want to be inclusive on this video.
I like your machine job here. This is pretty nice.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like wedged in there. It's like it's just holding on by a thread. Nice.
Listen, you can make excuses or you can make it happen. All right, we made it happen over there.
So overdrive
Is the
and dude, it sucks, but we can put more clutches in it.
okay? Can we pop the forwards just for?
Oh yeah, just
we want to
prove the forwards are not going to be the problem.
And again, guys, for everyone that's trying to sell you 5 clutches in the forward, this is 4 clutches in the forward. So stop buying into this 5 frictions is somehow an upgrade. All right, so what's your diagnosis, Meyer?
Diagnosis is everything looks like it has like 5 miles on it, except for the overdrives. They have 10 harder miles.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop the video here. All right, guys, so Meyer is willing to share the modification that we're gonna do on the overdrive to fix this overdrive problem. Now, why we are dedicating so much more time to this than the engine and everything else, I've kind of alluded to it before. Why, if you can't get all of the power to actively go into the roller, adding more horsepower to the dyno, or adding more horsepower to the engine is just going to make this problem worse. And usually the harder you slip something, the less of the potential you'll see. So I'd rather dedicate more of my time, effort, and money into making a 48 RE hold the power the engine is already making versus moon tuning my engine and wasting money, time, and blocks. So what Meyer is doing is adding another overdrive brake clutch to the transmission. So he's got to modify a few things, and as we get deeper into it, I'm going to let Meyer explain it so I don't misexplain it, misspeak, anything like that. But essentially, we got to modify the overdrive piston support, and we also need to modify the overdrive piston. And then from here on out, when you stack this transmission, instead of putting the overdrive on with the main case upside down, you will essentially have the overdrive face down and put the main case on top, because the retaining ring gets foregone.
Yes, we're putting a clutch where the retaining ring is.
Yes. So we will, instead of +1 OD brake, it'll be +2 OD brakes.
Yep, which mathematically, that's a pretty good increase.
Yeah.
I don't know what that would actually be.
But again, the whole goal here is to just harness the power we're already making.
The fact of the matter is in both your poles, you're defueling.
Yes.
So you could add more fuel, make more power, but it's just going to defuel.
And the harder you hit it, the bigger the slip becomes. And like, it doesn't, like, once the transmission slips, and maybe I'm wrong on this, Meyer, once you slip something once, let's say you had 100% clutch holding capability, you slip something once, it might drop to 85, 90%. And then if you're hitting it with more power, it might take that first slip and drop you to 85% clutch holding capacity. So again, rather than waste money and effort on the engine to make more power, we're just going to upgrade the trans. So I'm excited. I'm not sure how much footage we're gonna get, guys. We're kind of on a time crunch. I got to get home. Meyer also has plenty of his own stuff to do, so we're very, very thankful for him dedicating some time on a Sunday, the Lord's Day. And yeah, we'll get to it, and I'll pick up the camera along the way.
There's old school right here. So you spin it one way. There you go. Spin it one way to set that 0.
I feel like this is how Christopher Columbus got turned around and found America right here.
Christopher Columbus, machine to 48. This is how you be doing it.
Yeah.
For sure. So we set our 0. 20 thou pass. It's actually like really satisfying to use.
Safety squints, of course.
Of course. Someone's gonna tell me my feeds and speeds are all wrong.
Yeah. Dude, every time I think I know a lot about what I'm talking about, I get on the comment section of my YouTube video and I realize that I am not the subject matter expert of anything. That is oddly satisfying.
To me, it's the analog.
Yeah. I mean, to me, I look at this and I see no difference between this and a cordless drill with a flap wheel. I mean, really.
It's the same thing.
Yeah. And Kai, since you watch all my videos, this is exactly why we need a lathe at the house.
How far can we go?
You're about to bottom out. You're just gonna clean the edge.
No, I want to hit the inside face. That way I know they're both parallel. Because I didn't spend time, setting
Gotcha.
through.
I tell you what, guys, you guys are getting absolutely spoiled on the content. We're doing 2 videos a week during this competition run here. If you can't tell by the bags under my eyes or maybe some of the editing that's not picture perfect, we are, after September is over, we'll be back to our regular scheduled 2-car garage content. I know a lot of you guys are like, oh, what's all this? Don't worry. Harbor Freight's not going to come back. All right. But, yeah, it's been fun doing all these videos. And I almost feel like I live here again, pretty much. Spent 3 nights in Utah, 4 nights in California. Not too bad. Back to the old days. It was actually 4 and 3. 4 Utah, 3 Cali, but yeah.
Oh, no. I don't know why I did that. We have a boring bar right there. It's okay. I'll smoke my end.
But yeah, no, it is nice, and I am actively looking for lathes for the home garage. Coincidentally, I actually found a shed at Costco for $400. It's made out of plastic, and it could actually, what I'm thinking is we could put the shed on the side of the garage in the backyard, inside of the shed, so that way it doesn't take up any floor space. It's really close to the power, and then we don't lose any garage space. And the other thing I hate about lathes being around, like a lot of other stuff, is all the chips and stuff. If we had it in like an enclosed shed, I think that could work. So stay tuned for that. So Meyer just finished some more MER mods in the valve body here, and we also figured out that the valve body test stand does achieve 4,000 RPM, and
It's simulated engine RPM.
yeah. So at 1,500 RPM, he was like, "Oh, we're running out of flow." Then he turned that knob that I've never seen turned ever, and then I just kept turning it until it went to the max, 4,001.
At 4,000 RPM, there is no lack of flow.
Yeah. So we turned up the baseline pressure a little bit. We are reaching the point where I will be 100% transparent with you guys. This transmission will not drag race.
It'll do it once.
It'll do it once, but it probably wouldn't do it again. We would blow the second gear servo out. And for those of you guys, SFI, I get it. I have also been asking Meyer for this case every time I have to put that freaking transmission blanket on. However, they're waiting for their supply. And then the other thing too is we still haven't drag raced that new Meyer transmission mod for the drag race. And if it starts to work, then great. I will reinvest in my 48 stuff. If it doesn't, 1-800 Rossler, right, Ethan? So as Meyer continued to mock my machining mods, he has come to the realization that
You did a pretty good job. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that what you want to hear?
I just wanted the YouTube audience to know that we done did her, all right?
You have done it. I do think I can go a little bit more, but why though?
So the problem, guys, is you can let the piston spin, but if you drop this piston much lower, the steel can actually have the same problem we had with my piston.
Yeah, what we're looking at is if you go too much lower, you're not going to have any nub left. But the problem with only a little bit of nub like what he had here is that if that piston were to twist, it could go underneath here and just not be able to apply. Well, if you just machine the whole piston like diameter down to where the piston could spin. It won't because of the springs are kind of pocketing it and holding it in place. And the steel is what's taking the load anyway, so it doesn't really matter. The problem is, if you machine it just further, your steel is going to have the same problem.
So one thing I just came to a conclusion in myself with, what if you just made the piston out of steel?
So what I would do, I mean, you could do that, or what you do is you take a reaction plate and basically make it the top steel. So you do the same like where you've got a machine taper,
Yeah.
and you do that with that and just machine that down. That's where your clutch would ride, and you'd rely on the reaction plate tang.
Oh, that's a good idea.
The problem is that that is actually having to take a load. So you got those tangs have to be pretty beefy.
Yeah, but if you did it out of steel instead of aluminum.
Yeah. And I mean, you got about, you call it 90 thousandths of clearance.
And just again, guys, most horsepower I ever put through a 48 right here.
This is the brains.
This is
This is what's going into this. Look at this. This is
I did that with a
Angle grinder.
yeah,
You don't have to tell us.
a flat wheel.
you machined it with an angle grinder.
We were on the phone when I did that. I believe I called it precision machining actually.
I believe it.
But yeah, I mean, so this is kind of like as dumb or whatever. Like Meyer and I have been bouncing ideas off each other long before I picked up the camera. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, the only other thing you could do is a total redesign of the drum and move the fingers even lower.
Yeah.
But then you start to run out of hub on the input shaft.
Ultimately, you could go crazier and make it better, but I mean, you didn't slip it, so
Yeah.
why? I just, like, if it was easy to make it better, I'd be like, hell yeah, let's do it. I love you, just everything here.
Well, I just put every spare choline I had in there, and then so we're stacking our third gear drum. I showed you guys we machined it a little bit more, and we're gonna have all thick steels and now 7 thin GPZs, because now we're wondering if when we're gonna get the overdrive to hold harder, is the direct drive gonna become a problem? So I hate changing more than one thing at once, but we have good data, I feel like, for both. So now,
and what you changed was you put thick steels in it. We have just as many thick steels as we did. We just have one more clutch.
Yeah.
And so that should be a pretty safe change.
yeah, this dog should eat. And this is for all the people that always ask. Steel OEM seals on the stator drum. I tried those blue ones one time, did a street hit, did another one, instantly lost third gear. So OEM, right, Meyer? OEM. So here it is over, we're gonna throw it in. Big thanks to PDD for letting me use Todd's Bay and use the lift. We put that same WP development converter right back in there. Meyer gave it the ominous dominus. And
Hocus pocus.
hocus pocus. Yikes. But, all right, guys. We are very crunched for time, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this off here. Again, big thanks, WP, PDD, the MER, for working on the weekend, doing all this. PDD, kind enough, whether they know it or not, to donate some transmission parts to the cause. Appreciate you guys. Hopefully we see you out at Diesel Fam, September 27th. It's at the Diamond Z Arena in Cedar City. Not to be confused with any other arena in Cedar, because it is the only one of its kind. There are many like it, but that one is Cedar. So give this one a big thumbs up. Drop your comments down below. Subscribe if you're not already. And as always,
Catch you in the next one. See you in the next one.
that'll work. You guys, just kidding. Obviously, I was going to let Meyer finish that video off. But so we just did do a check. Oil level is still good. Coolant had pressure under the cap, kind of sprayed out. But there was no coolant in our overflow bottle, which means it was just holding the 19 pounds of coolant pressure by the cap. So it appears that our block is good. Oil pressure is good. Line pressure is good. And we turned that thing around. I think we started at 11:30. So all that stuff, about 7 hours. So not sure why it takes Meyer so long to build transmissions. But no, other than that, everything looked good. Also, just an update. The belt did not fall off like it did on the previous dyno hit. So our reclock tensioner with more tension on it does seem to be working. Now, guys, give this one a big thumbs up. Drop your comments down below. Subscribe if you're not already. And as always, I'll catch y'all on the next one.